What's going on, socialites, and welcome to the Week 2 review. Global Pokemon Society Draft League Season 8. We're hopping right in it here. Some spicy stuff going on in the minor leagues. They just had their first week, and we got a lot of drama, so we're going to get the drama out of the way. First off, the Birmingham Cleavers just ghosted, dropped out of the league, all this stuff, nothing, we've seen that before, we've had that in the past, whatever, that's fine. We do have a new coach, Mindy, who's going to be joining us, taking over the Cleavers. Cleavers are moving from Birmingham up to St. Paul, Minnesota, so it's going to be the St. Paul Cleavers, but the Cleavers still there. But like I've said, we've had that before. We've had coaches just completely ghost and drop off the mat. Even just last season in the majors with, we don't have to say his name, but if you know, you know. This one's a little more interesting. The Tehran Ascendancy. My goodness. So this man, this adult, because some people were asking if this was a little kid. This adult man, the way we do things in the league is you have until Thursday to message your opponent and get a battle scheduled. Contacts me on Sunday. Hey, I reached out to my opponent. They haven't gone back to me. I tell them, don't worry about it. They have until Thursday. Don't worry about it. He contacts me Monday. Hey, still haven't heard from them. You know what? I'm like, they got until Thursday. Don't worry about it. Then Tuesday's like, hey, they haven't gone back to me. I just kind of, I think I might have ignored that. Or I said, wait till Thursday. Whatever. Anyway, you're sensing a pattern here. Tuesday night, his opponent does message him. All right, cool. They messaged him back, reached out to him. Wednesday comes. Hey, my opponent messaged me back, but they didn't give me an exact time yet. I'm like, they got until Thursday. You got one more day. Then he hops on the Discord and he's like, hey, so-and-so hasn't gone back to me. What do I do? Everyone in the Discord says he has until tomorrow. But at this point, right, like they might have only seen that first one right there, but I've had it every day for the past 4 days before that. So I come in, I say, dude, you gotta stop. You're being annoying. Just don't say anything until tomorrow. So then he goes on this thing. He calls me rude, wants an apology. I just ignore it. I don't say nothing. Then earlier tonight, because it's Thursday when I'm recording this, I message him and I'm very professional, courteous. I say, hi, did your opponent end up messaging you? Because if they hadn't messaged him at that point, then it's a forfeit and hey, he gets the W, right? And he says, oh, now you're messaging me about this and oh, now, you're going to apologize and whatever. I'm like, I say, dude, I'm not going there. Just answer my question. Stop whining about it. Just answer my question. Did he message you? And he says, you're not going to talk to me like that again, MF. And I said, haha, and banned him. So no more Ascendancy. We're going to change around some stuff on the schedule here. You can see we got some bye weeks worked in. El Paso and Florida are going to play this week. Palatown Pikachus, who Tehran did play last week, even though they lost, we changed it to now they just get a bye. So we'll keep the stats on their Pokemon for that, but we're going to give them a bye week. Yeah, so there's just a bye week built into everybody's schedule here. But yeah, first time I've had to ban a active coach, who didn't just like drop out themselves for whatever reason since season 2. So been a while. Thankfully it's in the minors and we know we don't care about the minor leagues. JK all day, not even. But as you see here, because of that, And we had 2 forfeits. I mean, technically the Clevefords was one of the forfeit, but Florida for Alligators had some personal stuff come up, so they had to forfeit. So the only game that actually got done that we didn't rescind was the Mighty Psyducks and the Seattle Shiny Sylveon. So, yeah, that's why the Psyducks aren't first and everyone else is kind of just where they are. So, hopefully we see a little bit more as we progress here. But, yeah. Let's move on to the top 10 Pokemon real quick. Just going to look at these. Torkoal did huge for the Psyducks. You see AKOs. It just swept 2 games. That's the power of Drought Eruption with, you know, Blossom after you and everything. So, big stuff for them. We see Gengar there. We're done well for Tehran. I'll leave that up there, but they'll fall off after a little bit. Don't worry about that. But let's get into what we're all here for, the major leagues. So 2 weeks down, your Boston Braviers in the big matchup against the Denver Ninetales take them down pretty easily. Pretty simple there. Even got a sweep in the first game. Tied with PSG, their division rival, for the #1 spot there. The Vero Beach Volcaronas continuing, you know, just their torrid start. Like, they've been doing really well the last few seasons, but they're 2-0. And the Pittsburgh Poltergeists are also 2-0. I'm waiting for them to have a breakout game. We'll have to see this week coming up against the Diamond Desert Dwellers if this is their breakout, you know, get the 6 points for a win or something like that. Because their team's good. I need to see them bully some people, right? Then you got a bunch of 1-1 teams here. Black City Zekrom popped up because they got 3 game wins, so that gives them good tiebreakers against the other 1-1 teams. Then you got the Denver Ninetales, Driftvale City Dragapults, Lambertown Gengars. And if the playoffs started tomorrow, you would have the Oklahoma Thunders and the Phoenix Primals rounding that out. Right now, the teams looking from the outside in are the Chicago Slow Kings, who are 1-1, and the Diamond Desert Dwellers get a win, moving them up. Chicago Scrafties are the first of our 0-2 teams, but they have 2 game wins there. So that's good for their tiebreakers. Once they get some match wins, that'll really help them. You know, if you're going to lose, at least take a game out of it. That's all we can really ask for. You know, not everyone's the Boston Braviaries. You're not going to win them all, but at least get a game, right? Buffalo Bidoofs also have a game win, so that'll help them if they ever get some wins. If they ever get some wins. And then we got 2 0-2 teams, both with minus 10 points. The New York Yankees and the Tokyo Tokas. I gotta tell you, Juan, the New York Yankees, these first 2 games was where you had to kind of get those wins, and now it's gonna be tough if you can't get it. Because let's take a look at the schedule real quick. Let's take a look over at New York there. So they got Vero coming up, which will be interesting. Then they got a rain team coming up. So this will be rain v rain. So that'll be actually pretty interesting. Like, they can do it. New York's team is pretty decent. But let's be honest, you can't lose to Diamond Desert Dwellers. I know they had Scizor, but that's tough. That's tough. Alright, looking at the top 10 Pokemon. We see Hitmontop still doing really well for Boston. Garchomp from PSG moving up. We're going to get into some transactions here, but Mamoswine for the Lambertown Gengars got dropped. So that's why he's no longer up here, despite having a bunch of KOs. Pittsburgh, of course, with Cresselia, you expect to do well. We forgot to put this little one up on there last week for Oklahoma Thunderous, but Blossom with 5 KOs in week 1. Not doing anything in week 2, but still 5 KOs. Very handy. Latios leading the offensive pressure for the Vero Beach Volcarona. Suicune doing its thing for Driftvale. Magnezone had a big game this week, leading the Diamond Desert Dwellers past the New York Yankees. Tauros had a big game this week too. Definitely check out that battle. Getting up there. Roserade just kind of lingering from remnants of week number 1. And Heracross had a big game too for the Chicago Slow Kings. You can check out that battle. So let's take a look at the transactions here for these teams. Let's make me a little smaller, huh? I know I'm so beautiful, but y'all can handle it. All right, Black City Zekrom, bunch of moves here, changing one Pokemon from every tier. So all they have left is one free swap, but they got rid of Tyranitar, which I think is interesting to say the least. And they pick up Sableye. Okay, Sableye, really good prankster Pokemon, does a lot of things. Fake Out, Quash, Taunt, Will-O-Wisp, you know, all that sort of stuff. Gengar as their new offensive piece, so just looking to be fast. Nasty Plot, do some stuff. Ambipom, so looking for more Fake Out pressure. Dropping Gliscor, which they basically dropped all their sand stuff, right? They dropped Tyranitar, they dropped Credilli, they dropped Gliscor, and they dropped Sandslash. They picked up Barrel with Sandslash. So it'll be really interesting to see what they do here. Now they just kind of have like general good pieces. Like Sableye is a good support Pokemon, of course. Gengar, if it can set up, can be really scary. It's not going to do much if it can't get off some nasty plots. So that's why you got the Parasect there to Rage Power and everything. Ambipom, I don't know if it's that great of a doubles Pokemon, but I mean, it does get Fake Out, gets a strong Technician Fake Out. They'll keep using Nidoking, they'll keep using Parasect, that sort of thing. So a lot of changes there for Black City. Then going over to Boston, they made a couple changes. They dropped Staraptor and picked up Feraligatr, getting a setup Pokemon. You know, Feraligatr with Dragon Dance can be pretty powerful. With that water type, they were also able to drop Gorbis and pick up Absol. So Absol again gives them some Swords Dance pressure, Super Luck, so they can get a bunch of critical hits. Yeah, just kind of upping their offensive power here, because they definitely have the support that they need. We'll have to see what they do with the rest of their team moving forward. Buffalo Badoops didn't do anything. The Chicago Scrafties dropped Tentacruel and picked up Electrode. So Electrode is something in doubles. In this game, it only gets Light Screen. It doesn't get Reflect. I mean, the Explosion isn't going to do that much damage because of its low attack. So not a lot of electric Pokemon left in the C tier. Electabuzz was down there. I think I would have liked Electabuzz better. Electabuzz also gets access to Light Screen, but I mean, Electrode is faster, so if that's really all you want it for, then you can protect and do Light Screen stuff. So we'll have to see how that works out for them. Does get access to Thunder, but again, Electabuzz would have been stronger for that, so we'll have to see how it plays out for them. But, you know, just getting rid of one of their many water types. Still trying to figure out this heavily contested rain strategy that's been going on. Chicago Slow Kings didn't do anything. The Denver Ninetales, they made a trade with the Togekiss, picking up Aggron and trading away Magneton. And they picked up Crawdon, picking up Hitmonlee. So getting a couple pieces. So, you know, they got their Sun Core here, but they needed a secondary strategy. So now with Dusclops, they have a couple Pokemon that can operate very well in Trick Room. So pretty good there. I mean, and Crawdon, again, if you're doing Trick Room now in the Sun, you're going to be hitting really hard with those Water type moves thanks to adaptability. Diamond Desert Dwellers didn't do anything. Still got their team. Driftvale dropping Fortress, picking up Magcargo. Not really sure what the strategy is with this one. If anyone has an idea, let me know. Obviously, I like Magcargo better than Fortress, but when you already have such a premier fire type in Heatran, I'm not sure. Let's click on Magcargo. Let's see, what does Magcargo do? I mean, it's slow, it's got high defense, its special attack is okay. Rock Fire isn't very good. Gets Yawn. I don't know. I don't know, but we will see if Magcargo makes it to any matches here. Moving on, Laventtown Gengars. They lost to the Pittsburgh Poltergeist, and after that loss, they traded away their Ampharos to get Swampert. So Ampharos, who was also on their team last season, getting rid of. Then they made a couple free agent trades. They dropped Mamoswine, which was doing very well for them offensively, picking up Hariyama, and then they dropped Miss Magius and picked up Honchkrow. So this is interesting, right? So without Miss Magius, now their only Trick Room setter is Exeggutor. You figure that has to be a part of the strategy now, because they do have Pokemon like Hariyama, like Ursaring. You know, Swampert, Torterra, and Armaldo aren't fast. I just feel like Mamoswine, the offensive pressure, like I would have built more around Mamoswine than getting rid of Mamoswine, is what I think. Like, Rotom Fan is still kicking around in the B tier. Like, you could have picked that up and had Quake Discharge combo going on, which is always strong. Could have looked into some prankster Pokemon and done some stuff. I don't know. Like, we'll see how it goes. Like, now you really want Trick Room on this team, and you only got Exeggutor. Honchkrow's really frail. Like, where's the offense coming from here if you're not doing Belly Drum Hariyama or Swords Dance with Ursaring? And then you're talking about two different Guts Pokemon that want Trick Room up. I don't know. Kind of tough. We'll have to see how it plays out for sure. New York Yankees making a bunch of trades. Again, one of those rain teams that just had a lot of water types. So they drop Kangaskhan and pick up Raichu, great Lightning Rod user. Fake out Nuzzle, Thunder in the rain, really strong. They pick up Venomoth, dropping Quillfish. Venomoth giving them a Rage Powder user, so some redirection. And then dropping Seeking, because they don't need that water type Lightning Rod user when you got Raichu. And picking up Mightyena, who gives them access to Intimidate and Snarl. Could also be a Moxie Sweeper, but I think I'd rather just make it bulky and do Intimidate, Snarl stuff. Kind of like a way worse Arcanine, but you get the idea. So we'll have to see how they go with this. They still got good fake out pressure, of course. You got 4 Pokemon here with fake out: Ludicolo, Raichu, Hitmonchan, Persian. You just gotta decide where you want your Rain Dance to kind of come from, and obviously a lot of these Pokemon can learn it, so get that Rain Dance up, get Ludicolo and Poliwrath to do their thing, and just sit back and relax from there. Oklahoma didn't make any changes. I'll show their team anyway. PSG didn't make any changes. They never do anyway. Phoenix Primals picking up Vileplume and dropping Drifblim. They wanted the After You for Torkoal. And dropping Vigoroth, unfortunately, for Ledian. So I don't know which one's worse. They wanted a Tailwind user. Ledian was the last Tailwind user in C tier. I mean, that's tough, right? That's tough. I don't know how often that's gonna come. Like, it's not like Murkrow, right? Like, Murkrow wants to prankster Tailwind and then die, right? That's what Murkrow wants to do. Ledian, I don't even know if... Like, there's no guarantee you'll get that Tailwind off for one. That's for sure. It's fast, but it ain't that fast. Pittsburgh, we talked about that trade for Swampert. Let me actually spell Swampert right. My goodness. Picking up Ampharos, which is pretty interesting. And they added Leafeon and dropped Rotom. So getting that electric type, they didn't want Rotom anymore. I think I would have still preferred Rotom. Being able to get stuff like Will-O-Wisp and everything, and being faster, of course, and immune to Fake Out is always nice. But picking up Leafeon. So now they got Leafeon and Glaceon. Not sure what the Leafeon wants to do here, but it's here. Maybe they just want a grass type. Now they got the fire, water, grass core here. Could try and trade Leafeon over to, who has it? Lammertown to get Torterra, and then you got all the Sinnoh starters. Tokyo, we already talked about that trade. They pick up Magneton, getting rid of Aggron. Magneton is okay, mainly because of the other stuff that they did. So they dropped Kingdra and picked up Dragonite. So being able to trap and get rid of steel types before you bring in your dragon is pretty good. Although Dragonite has pretty good coverage against steels with Fire Punch and Earthquake. And they pick up Crobat, dropping Milotic. So now they have a strong Tailwind user, inner focus so it can't be flinched. Crazy high speed stat, 130. So being able to Tailwind kind of help out some of these more Pokemon. Still would like a little more offense. I don't know, like, the C tier is so bare. I don't know if you're going to get in the C tier. You might have to drop that Lapras and pick up a B tier. Blastoise can do a lot after Shell Smash. Dragonite, of course, is strong. Spiritomb and Crobat are going to be good support. But you just don't want to be predictable. But the team's coming around together. Even though they've had a tough season, Tokyo is a former champion. And we'll have to see how they perform moving forward. And then Vero Beach didn't do anything, but still a lot of changes, a lot of good stuff going on here. And of course your Rain Champ up there at the top, but we'll have to see how long that lasts. Thanks everybody for watching. Let me know what you thought of the transactions for this week. Let me know what you think about the minor leagues. I gotta tell you, sometimes I don't know if the minor leagues are worth the headache for me, but you know, I want new people to have a safe place to play and learn in the league. So that, you know, I'm a giver. What can I say? But as always, stay classy, society.